Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about creative capitalism. We will discuss what is creative capitalism, where did this term emerge from, and how can we be benefited from this approach. But before we move on, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos on money, policies and business. When history is to be written about our period, it would not be uncommon to find pictures of protesters holding up signs that indicate hatred for the world's richest. In 2020, the catchphrase "Eat the Rich" became one of the most popular slogans to protest against the surging gap between the world's rich and poor. An increasingly young group of people have stood up for highlighting the economic disparity existent in the world and how the richest in the world, through their silence, have become complicit in the unfairness brought about by the economic marketplace. But why is that so? Why does the free market usually get such a bad rep? The arguments from free market naysayers are not unknown. Billionaires and millionaires have been accused of hoarding the world's wealth, leaving very little behind for the economic upliftment of the second and third world. Critics argue that the world seems to be getting better, but only in the direction of the people who have the means to control it. Creative capitalism was born from this very argument in 2008 when Microsoft founder Bill Gates identified himself as impatiently optimistic of the existing free market structure. Gates argued that the world was getting better, but not fast enough, especially not for the people who live paycheck to paycheck. He agreed that the economic and political freedom of the modern period was unparalleled, which in turn had positioned women, minorities, and the economically downtrodden in a manner that was previously unobserved throughout history. However, there are also people in the billions who are still inaccessible to the wonders of the digital and technological age. In fact, they still find themselves in a constant dearth of basic nutrition, potable drinking water, affordable housing or education, and stable healthcare. Gates argues that the golden principle of capitalism is that it benefits both the consumer and the seller, and the capitalists have a duty of making self-interest serve the wider interest of a larger group of people. While the free market has allowed that to a considerable extent, there are corners of the market that it has not been able to reach, thereby leaving scope for a better system. Creative capitalism would seek to incentivize that gap and push for systemic innovation in capitalist strategies. But what would that mean? In very simple terms, it would humanize the profit incentive in a way that what is profitable for large corporations is also profitable for the consumers. The economic gentrification of the rich must be denied, and what should serve the wealthy should also have a method of serving the poor. In essence, creative capitalism works on a dual principle: making profits and improving the status of people who do not fully benefit from the existing economic system. These can be brought about through incentivization, which would drive people to the market and encourage them to participate in it. But won't that mean that corporations would have to play an active role in the socio-political and cultural aspects of each society? How would that fit into all of this? In a 2008 issue of The Economist, the publication defined this as corporate responsibility, the ratio between the company's commercial competencies and its principles. Gates's belief is that the worth of doers in the marketplace, including the MNCs, depends on their ability to recognize prospective markets and incentivize on them in a manner that benefits both the company and the market. Bill Gates hits back at the marketplace, saying that the lack of projects in developing countries of the second and third world is not due to the lack of existence of a demanding market, but in the failure to recognize the essential needs of that marketplace. An important question to ask would be, does the betterment of its own citizens not lie in the policy making of a benevolent welfare state? Free marketers would argue otherwise. The role of the government in a creative capitalism model would be to merely act as a facilitator to allow the thriving of private markets. This can be done not only by encouraging entrepreneurial pop-ups, but also by funding corporations for basic market research. Advanced market commitment, for instance, is another method by which governments and foundations can set aside liquid assets to fund the preparations and distribution of vaccines for neglected diseases. Good governance acts as a partnership between government and corporations in order to address some of the market's most incentivizable demands. Take, for instance, the strategy followed by the World Health Organization during the meningitis outbreak in Africa. The market research showed that mothers were willing to administer the vaccines to the children if the price per dosage would be 50 cents or below. The World Health Organization placed a pricing challenge out to this price, which was taken up by the Serum Institute in India. Serum Institute put a process in motion where they would put the price per dosage at 40 cents and export 250 million doses into public and private healthcare systems. During the cholera outbreak, a Dutch pharmaceutical company agreed to share its patents with the public, free of royalties. to aid in the production and market distribution of cholera vaccines in developing countries. Notable results were observed in places such as Vietnam, where cholera vaccines are produced and distributed at the dollar cost, therefore steadily increasing their immunization programs. Since Gates's address in 2008, the term creative capitalism has been rare to find on company strategies or projects. Notwithstanding, Gates's idea brings to light two important pointers: that the system of capitalism needs a change in principle, and that philanthropy is not a standalone, non-incentivized process. In times such as these, perhaps creative capitalism becomes the ideal model for companies to play to their strengths and core competencies, therefore encouraging more holistic laissez-faire capitalism. But how exactly would such structure look like at the macro level? What policies can government make that assist corporations to thrive in the longer run? Where do non-profit organizations fit into the system of creative capitalism? We shall be exploring these questions in subsequent videos to this segment. This video is brought to you by Shaktiki.org. They are an impact-driven digital marketing agency. Check out their website with the link in the description below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more such videos. You can also share your thoughts in the comment section below. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching.